Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, EQ Nostalgia here, and welcome to my rant video for Resident Evil 7. I've previously already done one of these called In Defense of Resident Evil 7. Basically, I went through that. I explained to everyone what Resident Evil truly is, and obviously I had some blowback on that. But this, I just want to do this one a little bit different. I want to read people's comments on the trailers for Resident Evil. I'm gonna go with the latest trailer first. I might delve into some of the other ones, but I think there's enough stupidity in the latest one to fill like 20 fucking videos. So that's gonna be the goal here, guys. Alright, so wasting no time getting into the fucking douchebaggery here, folks. Ruby of Blue says, I wish people would see past the blind hype and honeymoon phase and just look at this objectively. The most likely scenario at this point is that Capcom wanted to make a VR horror game, realized they could capitalize on the success of PT, then slapped the RE title on it to make it sell better. And no, just any kind of horror isn't enough to make it a RE game. Alright, so first of all, the VR thing is just fucking... I'm sick of hearing that shit. This is a game that runs in VR and also runs in just standard look at your fucking screen and play it mode. It doesn't need to be in VR. It's not a VR... exclusive, okay? So I don't understand that whole argument. Oh, it's in VR. So fucking what? You can still play it normally. Shut the fuck up. Alright, the whole PT thing. It has been stated by Capcom themselves that they have been working on Resident Evil 7 before PT was ever released to the public, before anybody knew PT was a thing, so you're fucking mistaken right there. Sick of seeing the PT bullshit. I get it. They're both first-person horror games. I understand, but oh my fucking god, people, not every shooter is Call of Duty. That logic is so flawed. I'm so sick and tired of seeing that shit. And this just any kind of horror isn't enough to make a Resident Evil game. Well, actually, it kind of is, because that's what Resident Evil has always been, okay? The very first Resident Evil was very much an homage to Night of the Living Dead. That's how it started off. A lot of the creatures and a lot of the situations that have appeared in this series from the fucking onset, from the beginning, have been an homage to classic horror films. Yes, it is good enough to make it a Resident Evil game. Am I the only one who remembers what they did with Resident Evil 4 with the chainsaw stuff? Did people seriously fucking forget about that? Alright, so on to the next retard. And just real quick, I want to give you guys a hint about the next one here. If people aren't bitching about PT and comparing this game to PT, what's the other game they're comparing it to? That's right, Outlast. Absolute MMA 101 says, the combat looks like shit. It's officially another Outlast. Really? This is another Outlast. Can somebody fucking direct me to the Outlast where you have a gun, where you have a fucking shotgun, where you have a fucking flamethrower and a chainsaw? Can anybody show me that Outlast? Because that's the Outlast I should have been playing, not the fucking hide-and-go-seek simulator that I played. Okay, if you like that game, alright, kudos to you guys, but really, I tried to get into it. The hide-and-seek thing, man, it's just not for me. Enough with the fucking Outlast shit. If they haven't done enough to show people by now that this is not an Outlast clone and it's nothing like Outlast, I don't know what the fuck they can do. Yes, with the Lantern trailer, I was starting to get a little worried. I was like, oh, it's starting to look like we're doing a whole lot of running and hiding here. But then they dropped the bomb with all the fucking combat stuff when they started showing all the weaponry. So the Outlast thing. Next. Magnum 1165 says, I am sorry, this is not Resident Evil. This is The Hills Have Eyes, the video game. To be honest, I think they should just stop making sequels. If he spelled that wrong, not gonna stick to the original source material. Also spelled that wrong. I grew up with all the original Resident Evil games, so I am sorry if I sound like an old man bickering about the past, but how can I help it? It's one of my most favorite video game franchises ever. I am used to the sci-fi horror of the original games. This is turning into Silent Hill. Where's the labs? Where's the genetic mutations? I am sorry. It just doesn't feel like Resident Evil anymore. Alright, so, buddy. Okay, The Hills Have Eyes, the video game. You know, when I first played Resident Evil, like I said, it felt like I was playing Night of the Living Dead, the video game. because that's how I was coming at it. I was at that age, it was new, the game was new. I was already a fan of Night of the Living Dead. That's exactly what it felt like to me, except they added all of these different BOWs, all these different creatures in there that were also homages to other horror movies. People just don't seem to understand. Anybody who says anything like, oh, this is The Hills Have Eyes, or this is Texas Chainsaw, they don't understand the origins of Resident Evil, how this shit started, guys. It fucking drives me crazy. Because here we have someone who's claiming they've been there from the beginning, and they're sounding like an old man, and they don't mean to sound like an old man, but they're old school. Listen, motherfucker, I'm old school too. I was there from the beginning. I was there when it first started. The difference is that I understand the source material, the horror movies that Resident Evil has always pulled from, and you don't. You don't understand that shit. Also, turning into Silent Hill, I'm not seeing anything in this that even reminds me remotely of Silent Hill. I don't remember any of this cannibalistic shit. I don't remember any of this Texas Chainsaw Hills Have Eyes kind of shit going on in Silent Hill. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Did you play Silent Hill? Do you know what Silent Hill is about? It's about a town where people go into the fucking town and their past is basically just haunting them. Okay, and they have to go through, and they have to, like, the town makes them go through all of that shit. It's like their own personal fucking hell. What the fuck does Silent Hill have to do with anything that we've seen? Least of all, the latest trailer where I took this comment from. I also love this bit about where's the labs, where's the genetic mutations. Okay, did you not see some of the photos of the fucked up looking people? Did you not read about how they took pictures of a bunch of pieces of meat and they made a creature out of it? Because I'm pretty certain we're getting mutations. It's pretty much been confirmed. So you might want to pay attention before you flip the fuck out, man. And the lab thing, that really cracks me up. What's the last thing that you guys remember doing in the classic Resident Evil? The self-destruct system has been activated. The lab is always at the end. Why are we going to be seeing anything from a lab, even if it is in the game, which is something that they haven't done for a while, I don't think. I don't know. To be honest with you guys, I haven't really been paying attention after like 4, 5, and 6. Just if there was a lab, I just fucking forgot about it completely. But in a classic sense, the labs, you don't see them to the end. Why the fuck are they going to be showing us labs now? Why would they show anything that revealing on a game that's not even out yet? Jackoff says, oh no, a guy with a shovel, I am so scared, gosh, and wow. A dinner scene with redneck cannibals and a person forced to sit at the table. Where have I seen that before? Like a dozen horror movies. It's not even scary anymore. Sure, the bits of gameplay looked alright, but so far the scare factor is unbelievably low and cliched. I wish they would give us anything that says, don't worry, it is still Resident Evil, like an item box, the inventory, some mutant monsters like Hunter, or the Tyrant, really anything. Alright, first of all, like the whole scary thing, I mean, yeah, there were moments when I was playing the demo, it was pretty tense, you know, I was like, I'm turning this corner, I don't know what's going to be there, something's going to jump out, and it's freaky, but really scary. I mean, I'm 34 years old, things don't scare me like that. Yeah, you get the tension, and I think there's good atmosphere that really helped with the demo, and I think that the game is going to have some pretty fucking freaky moments. First person, to me, it's a little bit more creepy than third person because it just puts you in the experience. Having a headset on, you're full of shit if you're not going to be pissing your pants when you turn a corner with that. I mean, that's going to be fucking creepy, dude. The whole a dozen horror movies have done this thing. I really don't recall many movies that have done the whole sitting at the table, fucked up cannibal thing. Texas Chainsaw is really the only thing that comes to mind. Saying that the scare factor is cliched, Resident Evil has always played off of cliches. It's always played off of the cliched stuff from classic horror movies. I sound like a broken fucking record here, folks, right? These are the people, they all have this in common. They don't understand really how Resident Evil started out and what it really was. So many people will argue with me in the comment section about this shit. Oh no, that's not what Resident Evil is. That is exactly what Resident Evil is. That's exactly what it always started off as. I just don't fucking get that people can't see that. And then he's here saying, oh, show me anything like an item box. Where the fuck have you been, dude? They already showed us an item box. They already showed us that. What the fuck? And psh, another one. Do your fucking research, man, before you pop off and look like an idiot. Now this one here, this is probably my favorite. Only because it's really short and I don't have to read too much. The dude broke the wall with a shovel. What? This is stupid. Okay, let me get this straight. It's perfectly acceptable to you that a fucking reanimated corpse literally can get up off of the ground, walk around, and try to eat people. Zombie dogs are fucking running around the forest in the Arklay Mountains outside of the mansion. Mutated hunters stalking around, slicing people to ribbons. No fucking problem with that. But oh my god, this dude just broke a wall with a shovel. Fuck this game. Are you kidding me? Next. Dale X88 says, doesn't feel like Resident Evil at all. Give us fixed camera view, give us third person. A first person Resident Evil game makes no sense, and the trailer feels more like a Outlast game than a Resident Evil game. Okay. You're okay with fixed camera and third person, but don't do first person because it makes no sense. Explain to me, somebody please, why first person doesn't make sense, but third does and a fixed camera does. What? I don't understand that. I fucking don't understand that. I mean, how can you be okay with those two, but just, God forbid, don't go into first person? Like, some people don't like first person. I understand that some people even get sick from it. My wife is one of them. She can't play first person games. I sympathize. I've said this before in the past, if that's you. But why doesn't this make sense? It makes perfect fucking sense to go into first person. In my honest opinion, it's way better to go into first person than what third person was doing, because it's more atmospheric, you feel more there, and it's scarier when shit happens because you're connected to it more. You're in it more. First person is a much more personalized experience. And, there's no looking around corners or that kind of thing. When you go around a corner, you have to fully expose yourself, and it's just creepier that way, man. I don't understand the fucking reluctance to accept first person in this series. And of course, we've got the typical Outlast game bullshit, and everybody just keeps fucking blah 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 blah. It's like the bandwagon retards. They all just sit on a bandwagon and they say like the same thing. They're just sitting there saying like fuck, 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 and they all just repeat the same word, fuck, 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 fuck. And it's what it reminds, just a bunch of mindless idiots. And I see this with so many different games, and so many games that don't deserve hate, and even the ones that do. You've got so many people that just jump on the bandwagon. Oh, everybody's calling this an Outlast clone. I should do the same thing. This is just a fraction of the dumb shit that people are saying. And you know what? I'm not a complete and total asshole, guys. I get it. People want Resident Evil to go back to fixed camera, and I do as well, but it's not going to happen. Once I realized that it wasn't going to happen, that's when I said, okay, I have to make a decision. I either have to keep playing the games and accept them for the way they are and hope that they go back to survival horror in some capacity, or I need to walk away. That's pretty much where we're at right now. If you don't like the first person stuff and this isn't what you want fixed camera, I'm sorry, but you're most likely not going to get that. As a matter of fact, at this point, I'm starting to wonder if the remake of Resident Evil 2 is even going to have a fixed camera mode at all, because it's just not popular. I'm sorry. If you understand the industry and the way things change over time, you're going to understand that that's not something that they're going to go back to. I mean, first and foremost, this is a business, and I think gamers, that's where the most conflict comes from. Because they love the games and they just want the games. That's, it's kind of like a pure intentions thing. But on the other side, you've got Capcom, and if they're not making money, they don't give a fuck. They need to make money. They have a bottom line that they have to meet, or they go out of business. So if they're not making money, they don't care. Yes, the HD remaster sold like crazy. I mean, I think it's the most sold digital copy of any game ever, but still it pales in comparison to what they were doing with Resident Evil 5, 6, and I think even Revelations 2. I don't know. I guess I can't expect like the average gamer to understand that, to understand how that shit works. But I understand it, so when I see these kind of comments, I just get really frustrated. They're not looking at this the way I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the whole picture. They're just looking at what they want and what they had in the past, and that's all they want, and fuck everything else. Well, fuck you, because that's not what you're going to get. At this point, I want to kick it over to you guys. What do you think of these comments? Do you agree with them? If you do, let me know, because we could have some very interesting conversations down in the comments section. I'm used to that with my Resident Evil videos, by the way. If you guys enjoyed this, please remember to rate it thumbs up. I thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next video.